If you were granted strange abilities one day, whether it be super strength, the ability to fly, or super speed, what type of person would you become? Someone who saves people in need? Someone who comes to the screams and cries of someone being attacked? Or would you be somebody who uses the power for evil, assault, robberies, or worse, murder? I believe your answers to those questions truly represent the person you are on the inside. A hero will choose to save people, while a villain will choose the path of evil. And the series we're talking about today is about two main characters given the same strange abilities, fated to cross paths. This is Inuyashiki.
Bah!
Our main character Ichiro Inuyashiki has just moved into his new house with his family and is already being met with some severe complaints. Why is it so small, and why did he buy a house so far from the street? It makes no sense. Ichiro being 58 years old, he's lived his life working tirelessly for his family, and he's finally saved up enough to move into a house, and his family is just so unappreciative of this. His family decides to go get something to eat, leaving him all alone to unpack everything, and this pretty much sums up the type of family they are. Ichiro will check his mail and see that he needs to go to the doctor to be retested. Ichiro would visit the doctors and be told that he has stomach cancer and would have 3 months left to live. He tries to call his family, but none of them answer despite seeing him call. Seeing his family in person, he would try to tell them again, but they would all brush him off, with his own daughter calling him her grandpa in front of her friend. Ichiro rightfully being depressed about this situation. I mean, from the very few instances that we've seen his family so far, we can already tell that they don't give a fuck about him at all. It's clear that everyone who encounters Ichiro pities him and thinks he's just some sulking old man. His own kids don't even want to walk home with him. He's getting bullied on the bus by random strangers. Ichiro decides it would be a good idea to get a family pet, and he calls his kids downstairs and tells them, let's go to the adoption center together, and they all just say, nah, forget it. This has to be the worst family I've ever seen in any anime or manga, and I give kudos to the mangaka for being able to create such a dislikable family in such a short amount of chapters. Ichiro will go to the adoption center by himself and find the perfect dog, and once he brings it home, he's met with more complaints coming from his family. Why is it so big? That's not a puppy. What about a doghouse? Are you going to build one? This family just does not care about their father's happiness at all. But back to the present, Ichiro would find out that he has cancer, and obviously this making him sad. He would be walking with his dog and he wonders to himself, if he actually had told his family, would they cry about it, or would they cry for him? He decides to just start running, and he ends up at a park with his new dog where a boy is already gazing at the sky. Ichiro decides to look up, and suddenly the sky begins to shine and an explosion happens. Now, this would be the end of the Ichiro that we know because, well, as you can see, he's turned into some sort of robotic figure, but he doesn't quite know that yet. He would wake up and go back home like nothing happened, only to realize something has changed. He no longer needs glasses, he's extra thirsty, he has no back pain, and suddenly his cancer is gone. Unknowingly to him, he truly has changed into something completely different. He chalks this up to the cancer affecting him early until he decides to look in the mirror and he realizes he's no longer human. But let's pause. You see, Inuyashiki wasn't the only one that changed that night. Hiro, a 17-year-old high school student, was also there during the explosion, and he would immediately realize these robotic changes and begin to use his power for evil.
Bah! Bah! Bah!
Hiro would begin to abuse his newly found power, causing accidents on the road, hacking bank systems for money, and murder. Every day, Hiro would walk into a random house, kill every person in it, moms, dads, and even the children, and the worst part of it all, this was all just some sick game to him. Hiro believed he was invincible. Aw, fuck off. Hiro thought that as long as he had these mechanical changes, he could challenge the military or even the whole world. He was sinister and had no value for human life, even striking up a conversation with the daughter of the family he just murdered in cold blood about One Piece.
どんな漫画読む？漫画。どんな漫画読む？
ワンピとか進撃の
ワンピ？
巨人。
嘘マジ？ 誰が一番
I always knew it would be a One Piece fan to do something like this. The girl obviously being in shock and scared. I mean, she just came home to her whole entire family being murdered. She would ask if her dad and her brother were alive, and Hiro would tell her, why does that matter? These changes to him didn't change his personality or thought process. This is how Hiro has always been. He just had the ability to carry it out now. His friend even recalling a past conversation when they were kids about Hiro saying, it doesn't matter who lives or dies if they're not family, and oftentimes he catches himself getting more emotional about a manga character or an anime character's death than somebody in real life. During these incidents where Hiro would just walk into random people's houses and kill them, he would finally end up meeting our main character Ichiro, and he would instantly go for the kill, but it wouldn't kill him because Ichiro is the same as Hiro, so it would just end up deflecting off of him. But Hiro being cocky, he thought he got the kill, so he would end up leaving the scene. But despite Ichiro and Hiro having the same mechanical changes happen to them, Ichiro would come out the complete opposite. He would begin to use his robotic body to help people, like saving the homeless, curing diseases at hospitals. To Ichiro, this power wasn't something that needed to be used for evil, but instead something that needed to be used to help people in need. Hiro wouldn't even think of helping people, would only focus on how he can use this power to cause more havoc. He would have this conversation with his mom, who was watching the news about the recent crimes being committed, not knowing her son was the actual one doing it. He would ask her what she would do if it came out that he was the one committing the crimes, and she would tell him she would take her own life. Later that night, the cops would rush into her place and try to arrest Hiro, but he would end up escaping. But it is now blasted everywhere on the news that Hiro is the one doing all of this. His mom staying truthful to her word, she would end up taking her own life. Now, I bring this up because this would send Hiro into a deeper hole of darkness, losing his mom and blaming the people online for criticizing her, not taking into account that this is all happening because of him. He doesn't realize that he's the bad guy in this situation, and what he's doing is downright evil. He would begin to target the people criticizing him and his mom by killing them off one by one. Reporters, the trolls, it didn't matter if they played any part, they were dead. The government would claim that Hiro is an enemy against the world and would begin looking for him everywhere, but Hiro wouldn't run and he would face them head on. Now, while all of this is going on, Ichiro is still saving people daily, going to hospitals and curing people, but he would catch wind that Hiro is going on a rampage and would make it his responsibility to stop him. He would end up trying to track him down along with the help of Hiro's old friend, but they were unable to find him until Hiro started getting a little reckless. He would announce to the citizens of Japan that every day he would be killing 100 people randomly because the country decided that since he's an enemy, he might as well destroy them. Once again, him ignoring the fact that this is all happening because of the fact that he wanted to go on a killing spree for no reason. I mean, for crying out loud, he went to a government facility and killed them all. He was the one that made himself an enemy of the nation. As Hiro goes on another killing spree, killing 100 people, Ichiro was unable to pinpoint his location, forcing him to just sit back and listen to all of the screams and everyone crying. The next day, Hiro would take it to a new level and would hack into airplanes and bring them all down from the sky, killing hundreds of people. Ichiro trying his best to save everyone. He saves a few airplanes, but that's when he gets wind that his daughter was caught in a fire. But as soon as Ichiro is about to go save her, Hiro sneaks up on him and gets in the way. Now, this fight between Ichiro and Hiro is much deeper than just fists being exchanged or good guy has to stop bad guy. It's a battle of ideology and purpose. Throughout the entirety of this manga, letting go of your old self and being reborn is a heavy theme present in both our main characters. Ichiro and Hiro accept the fact that they died that day at the park. They both struggle with these changes and learning to cope with not being human anymore. Ichiro feels most alive and more human by saving people, and Hiro, oddly enough, feels most alive when killing people. This was a battle to prove to themselves that they truly are alive. Everything that they've done led to this moment, and of course, Ichiro ends up coming out on top and saving his daughter. But the battle wasn't over just yet. The end of the world was coming. An asteroid was set to hit Earth, and there was no way to stop it unless you, I don't know, had two cyborgs who could theoretically explode themselves and destroy the asteroid. Oh, wait. We do. Ichiro and Hiro would give up their lives to stop this asteroid from hitting Earth, making them both the heroes in the end. This being Hiro's most compassionate and humanly act yet, but also being the one that ended up taking his life. And we would also get the answer to Ichiro's question, would his family cry if they lost him? The answer would be yes. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.